Hello, everyone. It's Amy Wilkerson with Seniors Blue Book, your resource for aging well. And today I'm with Jane Klein with Klein Senior Insurance, and I'm really excited to hear more about her and her business. So take it away, Jane.
Well, thanks, Amy. I'm excited to have this interview with you and do some advertising and stuff in the Seniors Blue Book.
Yes.
I honestly didn't know a whole lot about it until I had some clients ask me where they can get one. And so once I got on your site and I looked it up, it's just a wealth of knowledge, I think, for a lot of people out there. So I'm pretty excited about that as well. So I am, of course, Jane Klein, and I have my own agency, which is Klein Senior Insurance. I'm basically the only one that does any of the selling. I do have a service team that does help with customer service issues and things like that. And I've been in the business probably around 8 years. Before this, I was a school teacher, taught middle school science. So I kind of feel like I'm doing the same thing. I'm just teaching, people over 65 and seniors about their Medicare resources and options and things like that. Right now, as you can see, my home office is in my house because I basically do in-home appointments. So I will meet people at their homes, or if they want to meet in a public place, that's usually what I do. And it's kind of a service that I feel is nice for my clients. There's some that don't want to travel, some that don't want to have to go to an office and find a parking spot and things like that. But so that's one of the things that I do like about what I do, and I get to meet some neat people. I'm married. My husband, John, has a business here in Dunlap, Iowa, and we have 6 kids and 2 grandsons. So my youngest just graduated, so we're empty nesters come August. So it's kind of a fun and exciting thing all together. So so that's kind of my background, who I am, what I do.
Wonderful. Yeah, my sister actually used to live in Dunlap, so we have something in common.
I think you might have told me that one other time. That's pretty cool. Small world.
I know, right? But yeah, nice little community for sure. And so your coverage area, tell me about where you usually meet people, because I know you go onto the Nebraska side also, correct?
I do. My main coverage area is, I would say, Omaha, Council Bluffs area, Missouri Valley, right in there. I go to Lincoln. I've gone to Beatrice, Nebraska, and then I also go to, like Southern Iowa as well. I worked for Humana as a captive agent for 3 years. And I think that's what got me into the Omaha, Council Bluffs area, because they would send me to wherever my appointments were. And I really like that area. And, even though I'm an hour away, I'm down there 3 to 4 times a week. And sometimes I'm down there, daily. But, my daughter lives there and we have family down there. And so it's really, it's not a bad drive, and it's not a bad place to be. So, so that's kind of my area that I go to.
Yeah, that's great to know. Perfect. Who would you say is your ideal client when someone calls you or you're thinking about kind of who you want to work with? Who would that ideal client be?
So I was trying to think of this morning, and I asked my husband, I'm like, I got to think of these questions and kind of what do I want to say? And, I think that for so many, Medicare is so confusing. And I feel like the more we get into the digital world, which, and here we are doing a Zoom meeting that's going to be on social media. There's so many, I feel like there's a lot of seniors that don't have access to just some of the resources that are out there. So my ideal client, I have clients actually from age under 65 to, I think my oldest is 94. But my ideal client would be one that maybe needs help with some of those resources. I do like to help clients if they are struggling financially. I like to help them find if they qualify for any extra benefits. There's a Medicare savings program where they can get paid back that Part B premium, which Joe Namath talked about it all fall. So if anybody
Yeah,
had their TV on, they knew that's what he was
right.
talking about. But you see all these things on TV and you get all these mailers and it just confuses a lot of people. So I like to be able to go in there and, work with them and, kind of see where they're at and to help with the application process, and just see if they can get extra help for their prescriptions because we all know those are ridiculous expensive.
Yeah.
And just kind of, to me, helping them, it I love to see their relief when they do get some extra help. And I
Oh,
love to just get
absolutely.
those calls back, like, you have no idea how much this has helped my family or me or things like that. And it honestly, I like to follow up with them. I help them like read eligibility for or for low income things. I've helped them look for like manufacturer or like the coupons or the
Sure.
what do I want to say, like for getting extra help for prescriptions and stuff like that. But anyway, so that's kind of where I would say is my ideal client. I mean, I love all my clients. I love the age 65, turning 65, and I so it's hard to, but that's kind of where I feel like I've put a lot of my attention to.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, literally today, my work cell phone rang this morning, and I answered because it said Tilden, Nebraska, right? And so I'm like, oh, okay, probably somebody that needs some resources. And then I heard the like record, like the
Hmm.
click, like I'm like, oh, it's a telemarketer, and she was talking about Medicare, and I mean, there's
Yeah.
just so many. You're looking on the TV, by phone, all the telemarketers. I mean, I understand how overwhelming that has to be for seniors. And I mean, your job is to know the programs. I think your specialty is, I mean, you really understand all those Medicare Advantage plans. So, that's so important because if someone's calling you, they don't know your situation. If you're just getting a cold call from nowhere, where, someone like you sits there, takes the time to find out, what type of prescription someone takes and just like really match them to what program would work best for them.
Yeah. And I
So
think
that's
what I like too is,
wonderful.
I don't charge for these services. So anything,
Yes,
if I sell them anything or sign them up for any plans, I mean, it's all commission based. So they don't have to pay me any out of pocket. I don't have to collect money from anybody, which I love.
yes,
And I just feel like too, and I guess this kind of goes back to my background. I have a 23-year-old son with Down syndrome and autism who's nonverbal. So I feel like all of my life taking care of him and helping him and just learning the programs that have been out there for him. I just feel like that's my way of kind of giving back. And I just feel like I can navigate some of those resources a little bit more than some people that are not sure where to go to. So I kind of feel like
absolutely.
that's kind of been my push with that as well. So
Yes, yes, definitely. Definitely. So I always end with this last question. We like to keep these short, but tell me about a client that you impacted with your service or family.
well, there's a few that come to mind, but the main one kind of goes along with what I just was talking about is getting the extra help. And it's actually, I feel like I've done this with 3 or 4 people and it's kind of the same situation. But I had helped one lady. Her husband had passed away like a year before. It was a referral, so I just went in there not really sure what she needed. We were just going to review her plan during open enrollment, and she just couldn't afford her insulin. So she was telling about how she didn't take it all the time, and that her doctor was on her, but she couldn't get samples of this kind. And I just said, have you ever applied for extra help? And she's like, well, my daughter said something about it, thought we should try it. And I said, well, let's do it right here. And so she's like, okay. And so and that's what I do with a lot of my clients. I'll just open my laptop. It takes 5 to 10 minutes. They give me their information and I just basically am submitting it for them and they're actually doing it. But so a month had gone by, a month and a half, it was open enrollment, it was busy. I reached out to her, we played phone tag, and then one day she just left me a message and was like almost in tears, just saying how much that had
Mm,
changed her life because she was able to get that money back, that 144 or whatever she was paying a month. And then they actually paid her some back payment on some prescriptions that she was taking. So her insulin that was $47 a month was now costing her like $8. And
Wow.
she just said it was such a nice thing because now she can go have coffee or lunch with her girlfriends, and she said it's been so long since she was able to do that. And with her husband passing, she was just lonely. And so it just really gave her some financial freedom. And to me, I think I still have the message saved on my phone because it's one of those days that you're
Yeah.
like, okay, this is why I do what I do. So
Yes. Oh,
that's
I have
those are
goosebumps.
my fun stories.
Oh, yeah, that is awesome. And that's the thing. People are on such fixed incomes
Mhm.
that, something like, you know, starting a new prescription or having a new diagnosis can just be so detrimental.
Yeah, I
So,
agree.
kudos to you. That is amazing. That's why I love what I do because I get to hear these wonderful
Yeah.
stories.
I always tell people, my mom's 87, and I always say I would expect every agent to go into a home and treat them like, they would treat their mom. And so I always say that, I would hate if
Yeah.
somebody would go into her house and treat her, not the way they should. So I always keep that in mind of this is somebody else's parent, this is somebody's grandparent. And, it's just sometimes some of those people just need someone to talk to and to visit with. And some of my appointments get kind of long because I like to talk with them too. So, but it's always a pretty good turnout. So
Oh, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Jane. I feel like we've gained some insight into you and your business. And, I hope people reach out to you when they're trying to navigate that Medicare maze
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure. And
absolutely.
I will have all your contact information posted so that people can reach out to you directly.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I
Thank
appreciate
you.
this interview. And I look forward to continue to working with Seniors Blue Book and with you. So, all
Absolutely. Thanks so much. You have a great day.
right. Thanks. You too.